Hey everybody, welcome to Right Side Patriot Updates. In today's news, we have many things to report on, and as always, we'll give it to you straight. We'll never give you false hope or propaganda. Twitter tweet released tonight shows its management preparing secret channel to work with deep state on election tweet responses. Pro-Biden tweets warn Trump, quote, may try to steal the election, were approved by senior Twitter executives. Twitter is in an ugly pickle. Policy director for Twitter, Nick Pickles, admits that Twitter was working with FBI to censor Trump and conservatives. Twitter Files Part 3 were released on December 9th, 2022. Part 2 of the Trump Files will be released on Saturday and will detail the chaos inside Twitter on January 7th, one day before Trump was banned. According to Matt Taibbi, Part 3 of the Trump Files will be released on Sunday and will reveal internal communications from the key date of January 8th. President Trump thanked Elon Musk for Twitter revelations and labeled the DOJ for what it really is, and they are totally out of control, according to President Trump. We're going to get back to the headlines in just a minute, but listen, before we do, I want you to know Right Side Patriot is committed to helping our listeners find solutions in a broken down economy. If you need health insurance, a lot of people are really struggling with health insurance right now. The Obamacare plans are through the roof. Some people are paying more for their health insurance premiums than they pay for their mortgage. Email rightsideupdates@gmail.com. That's rightsideupdates@gmail.com. A qualified representative will get in touch with you. And let me tell you, I personally have looked at these plans. I actually have signed up for one of these plans, saved my family a fortune. So check it out. rightsideupdates@gmail.com, and somebody will get back in touch with you. And now back to the headlines. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre denied that the Biden administration was in contact with James Baker in an effort to censor conservatives on Twitter. Another deep state individual was outed in recent Twitter revelations unveiled by Elon Musk. Jeff Carlton has a resume showing he worked at both the FBI and the CIA and then moved on to Twitter. This is what we expected, that Twitter was being led by the deep state. Laura Loomer was right. Twitter's Jack Dorsey lied about shadow banning conservatives. During a congressional hearing, Loomer interrupted the proceedings and began to call out Jack and Twitter for shadow banning conservatives. She also accused him of trying to steal the 2020 election. While speaking out about Jack, Missouri GOP Representative Billy Long attempted to drown out Loomer's interruption by showing off his auctioneering skills. This was an unforgettable moment in House politics. Kari Lake files a 70-page lawsuit to throw out the BS Arizona November 8th results and claims hundreds of thousands of illegal ballots. 59% of precinct machines failed. Tens of thousands of illicit mail-in ballots. A self-proclaimed liberal Sherpa was arrested for kidnapping her 88-year-old mother and scamming her out of $224,000. In Kentucky, Forked Bank denies allegations on restricting customers from buying firearms. They claim, quote, this is not true. Jail superintendent hellbent on abusing inmates still in charge, and January 6er James Grant needs help. He says, then sue me. Obama-appointed judge declined to hold Trump in contempt over classified documents. Joe Biden's corrupt Justice Department asked a federal judge to hold President Trump's team in contempt for failing to comply with a subpoena related to the Mar-A-Lago documents. Judge Howell refused to hold Trump in contempt and told the lawyers to hash out their disputes themselves. A vacationing Chicago police officer has been arrested for urinating in an ice machine at a Florida hotel bar. Listen, we all know the woes and the stories we've heard about the fiat currency, the U.S. dollar. It's getting weaker. And now that BRICS and some of these other countries are creating their own financial system, the U.S. dollar is really in peril. If you would like to break away from the dollar and learn how to spend gold and silver on everyday purchases, please email Kevin at RightSideSilver@gmail.com. The email address will be in the description. And yes, it is absolutely possible to spend real gold and silver on bread, brownies, and everything else you need for your family. And you won't have to carry around 20 pounds of gold and silver. Reach out to Kevin at RightSideSilver@gmail.com, and he'll help you get away from fiat and onto a sound money system. It's really worth the call. He can also help you convert your IRA and your 401k into a gold-backed IRA or 401k. Listen, don't be a victim of the U.S. dollar. It's falling apart. Make the switch today. Reach out to Kevin at RightSideSilver@gmail.com. In other news, NBC scrubs a bombshell report that Russia offered American Brittany Griner or Paul Whelan in exchange for Victor Bout. Turns out that Biden did have a choice, and he chose poorly. A South suburb school in Illinois is accused of calling the police on a child with autism over missing lollipop records, according to ABC 7. After destroying millions of lives, Fauci cries about low-life trolls harassing his wife and children over his policies. Poor thing. They say it's Trump's November qualms was the last straw for Twitter. The newest document dump reveals Republicans called for Manchin to join Sinema and leave the Democrats. Representative Gimnas says to Newsmax, Musk needs to get out of San Francisco and move Twitter to Florida. While speaking to Newsmax on Friday, Senator Tuberville explains his rationale for placing a hold on all Department of Defense nominations until the Biden White House supplies the Senate with more information on the Pentagon's quest to unilaterally impose changes to the U.S. service members' access to reproductive health. The American people just want a military that keeps them safe. But the problem is, right now, we have a weak, woke leadership that wants to go with these radical, woke policies. Representative Ben Cline, a Republican from Virginia, says President Joe Biden has put American citizens in danger by releasing Russian arms dealer Victor Bout. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says on Friday that Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema's move from the Democratic Party to independent will not affect control of the upper chamber. Spending in Pennsylvania's 2022 gubernatorial race blew past the record set 8 years ago, topping $110 million, largely because of Democrat Josh Shapiro's powerhouse fundraising in a race that took on national significance. Folks, have you taken a look at the stock market lately? It has been down all year since January, and things don't look any better. In fact, every time we start to bounce and maybe it looks like things will get better, things just get worse. The average American's 401k is down over 25%. The NASDAQ is down over 30%. I don't know what your situation is, but listen, there's no reason for you to have pain in 2022. Did you know it's possible to not just survive 2022's bear market, but to actually thrive and make a profit? It's true. You can do it, and you can learn how with TradeMaestro. Visit TradeMaestro.com for more information. TradeMaestro has been in the business of teaching people how to trade stocks and options and increase their portfolios, even in the middle of bear markets, since 2008. Check it out over at TradeMaestro.com. Maybe take a 3-day challenge, such as the Bear Market Survivor, and find out how you also can thrive in bear markets. TradeMaestro.com. Representative Dan Crenshaw took a firm stance against drug dealers trafficking fentanyl, reasoning these types of criminals should receive life sentences in prison. The House Freedom Caucus on Thursday released a list of demands for GOP leadership, including bringing back the motion to vacate the chair, allows members to ask party leadership to step down and prevent leadership from getting involved in primaries. According to Congressman Andrew Clyde, when the government is involved in determining who has the right to free speech on social media, we have a serious problem. Despite the claims for leaving the party, Senator Kyrsten Sinema will keep her committee as assigned by the Democrat majority. She will still caucus with the Democrats. That means she continues to give them the power to control the Senate. So not much will change in the Senate. Russia is expanding and modernizing its nuclear arsenal, according to U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. A judge dismissed criminal charges against former Michigan Governor Rick Snyder in the Flint water crisis, months after the state Supreme Court said indictments returned by one-person grand jury were invalid. Former acting Attorney General Matthew Whitaker doesn't believe the chaos as the United States-Mexican border can be solved with a bipartisan immigration reform bill that essentially serves as an extension of the Obama-era DACA program. Representative Ruben Gallego chided Senator Kyrsten Sinema for, quote, putting her own interest over those of Arizona voters after she left the Democratic Party, according to The Hill. Gold and silver prices are trading higher these days, boosted by declines in the U.S. dollar index and the U.S. Treasury yields. The overall near-term technical postures for gold and silver remain bullish, which is also inviting the chart-based traders to the long side of these markets. February gold was last up 1270 at $1795.20, and March silver was up 52.5 cents at 22.86. China purchased 32 tons of gold in November. This is the first increase in reserves since 2019. Traders are awaiting the next U.S. inflation data point, which is Friday morning's Producer Price Index report for November. PPI is seen coming in at up 0.2% from October, the same rise as seen in the last month's PPI report. In Brazil, Bolsonaro is set to fight on. He spoke to massive sea of supporters after 41 days of silence and said, quote, "I will give my life for my country. We will win." Of course, he said that in Portuguese. A Southern California man is held on $3.25 million bail for going door to door, lighting American flags on fire. A federal court blocks Biden's transgender surgery mandate. In other news, Twitter owner Elon Musk suggested blame for child exploitation on the platform may rest with Yoel Roth. Hunter Biden is planning a defamation suit against Fox News, Eric Trump, Delaware computer repairman John Paul McIsaac, and Rudy Giuliani. Keystone Pipeline ruptured in Kansas, dumping enough oil to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool. The cause of the spill is under investigation. Former FBI official and now fired Twitter lawyer Jim Baker isn't the only former FBI agent lurking on the inside of Twitter. A discovery on LinkedIn has revealed there are over 14 former FBI and CIA agents currently employed at Twitter. The revelation was made by an anonymous Twitter user who goes by the Twitter handle @nameredacted247. Biden DOE pup handler Sam Brenton was accused of stealing jewelry worth $1,700 in Las Vegas luggage theft. An arrest warrant has been issued. Fake news is failing. The Washington Post has lost 500,000 subscribers since Biden took office. People are looking for truth and are tired of the lies. A Democrat has won the Massachusetts State House seat by one vote after a recount. Originally, it was believed the Republican representative had won by 10 votes. The New York City mask advisory is back due to a rise in tridemic cases, COVID-19, flu, and RSV. The Biden regime boasts full steam ahead on terminating Title 42, welcoming 30,000 illegal aliens every day. Military chaplains are fighting against tyrannical Pentagon lollipop mandates after a setback. They are going to pursue every avenue possible. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost announced his team will be meeting Google Search in court in May of 2024. The Republican official is seeking to declare the search engine a common carrier in order to make them subject to state regulation, according to the Epoch Times. Christina Bobb said, "We're witnessing evil trying to burn this country to the ground." She also said the left we're witnessing today reminded her of the saying, "An evil person will burn their country to the ground just to rule over the ashes." Musk agrees it's a crime. 3 Twitter employees refused to take action on child exploitation for years. Latest Twitter files release reveals the feds and Twitter were both caught lying, hiding evidence in a major lawsuit. Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmidt called them onto the carpet. Trump was right again. President Trump called out crooked Yoel Roth back in May of 2020. Nigeria banned ATM cash withdrawals to $45 per day to push digital payments. Meanwhile, a Detroit school board is trying to cancel Dr. Ben Carson by removing his name from a school. The large amount of files being released by Twitter owner Elon Musk shows a complete capitulation by the people who had been in charge of social media giant before he bought it. Arizona Republicans have filed a lawsuit regarding the November 8th situation for the second time, alleging that errors and inaccuracies may have contributed to a wrongful certifying of the results. A former acting commissioner of U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Mark Morgan, decried on Newsmax a proposal from Senators Kristen Sinema and Tom Tillis to bolster security at the border while providing a pathway to citizenship for migrants. Former President Donald Trump might be investigated, indicted, and prosecuted for technical violations of the law, but none of it will ultimately matter, nor will it stop his 2024 campaign, according to presidential strategist Dick Morris. Rudy Giuliani says to Newsmax Mike Pompeo also buried the Biden laptop story. Kari Lake is formally challenging her loss, asking a court to throw out certified November results from the state's most populous county and declared her the winner, or we rerun the race in that county. Remember, at Right Side Patriot Updates, we do more than just report the news. We can help you or somebody you know build a primary or secondary source of income. We teach many people how to spend gold and silver for everyday purchases. We help patriots get off the failing fiat system, and we get them set up with sound money. We also help save 401ks and IRAs. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Have a great night, and God bless.